Keir Starmer might have thought his biggest nightmare was behind him when Jeremy Corbyn was expelled from Labour. But just as he settles into Downing Street, well, it's not that long ago, Corbyn is back with reinforcements and ready to haunt him once again. Jeremy Corbyn, the former Labour, yeah, I love that one, who sparked both passionate support and fierce opposition, has announced plans to form a new political party positioned firmly to Labour's left. Corbyn, who once led Labour from 2015 until his suspension in 2020 and final expulsion in 2024, hasn't exactly been fading quietly into political obscurity. Instead, he's gearing up for a dramatic comeback. And as you already heard, he's not alone. Joining him in this new endeavour is Zara Sultana, the young and fiery former Labour MP for Coventry South, who dramatically exited Labour recently after 14 years of passionate activism within the party. Sultana declared her exit in an explosive statement on social media, citing the Starmer's government's deepening cuts to social services and accusing it of complicity in what she describes as genocide in Gaza, or not one of these again. And yeah, you heard correctly, Corbyn and Sultana aren't just forming a new political force, they are explicitly challenging the current Labour leadership on core moral grounds, and they are doing it with some serious rhetorical firepower. Sultana, whose suspension from Labour last year followed her votes against the party line aimed at lifting child benefit caps and preserving winter heating aid for pensioners, clearly isn't pulling any punches. "I do it again," she boldly proclaimed, positioning herself and her new political movement firmly against the, austerity-light direction Starmer's Labour has taken. And Corbyn, meanwhile, is re-emerging as an elder statesman of British socialism, rather say almost communism, framing his new party as a direct challenge to the status quo. He has promised a political alternative focused squarely on addressing poverty, inequality, and shifting foreign policy away from conflict and towards peace. Yeah, I really don't know why these lefties are so naive like the extreme right-wingers. And although Corbyn hasn't officially confirmed a formal partnership with Sultana yet, he's indicated that intensive discussions are ongoing. And what's more intriguing is that Corbyn is already strategically positioning himself in Parliament, having formed an independent alliance with 4 other MPs, aiming to amplify their influence, especially regarding their staunchly pro-Palestinian stance. And this development is not just bad news for Starmer, it's potentially catastrophic. After a tumultuous first year in office marked by significant policy reversals, public apologies, and plummeting poll ratings, the last thing Starmer needed was an ideological challenge from the left, further fracturing Labour's traditional voter base. Starmer's recent attempts to cut disability and welfare benefits to shore up Britain's shaky finances met a massive internal rebellion, we'll talk about this again this week, forcing him into an embarrassing U-turn. The fracture lines in Labour are now clearer than ever, and Corbyn's new political venture is perfectly positioned to exploit them. And let's be clear here, this isn't just a fringe issue. Labour's already dwindling support, now at a historically low average of 23% in recent polls, is ripe for further erosion if the party's progressive wing finds a more authentic home elsewhere. Corbyn and Sultana's potential new party could significantly shift the political landscape, siphoning off critical votes in marginal constituency and thereby benefiting right-wing forces like Nigel Farage's Reform UK. Sultana herself acknowledged this danger explicitly, slamming Labour's failure as the reason why a billionaire conman, Farage, currently leads in some polls. Billionaire conman? It's a stark reminder that Starmer's political survival doesn't just depend on navigating the centre ground. He must also avoid alienating his party's activist base, something he's been spectacularly unsuccessful at so far. And meanwhile, Corbyn's return to prominence couldn't be more perfectly timed for maximum disruption. His new movement aims to capture disillusioned Labour voters desperate for a genuinely progressive alternative, although I wouldn't call that progressive, promising a platform of robust social investment, as they call it, anti-austerity measures, and a staunchly peace-oriented foreign policy. Indeed, Sultana's invocation of Rosa Luxemburg's socialism or barbarism underscores the ideological intensity with which this new extreme left-wing challenge will be fought. And this isn't merely a political skirmish, it's a battle for the soul and direction of left politics in Britain. And the question now is whether Starmer can recalibrate fast enough to neutralize this threat, or if his government's repeated missteps have irreversibly alienated enough Labour loyalists to make Corbyn's resurgence genuinely impactful, which would be bad for Britain, by the way, with this extreme leftist stance there. With the next general election due in 2029, Starmer has time, but it might not be enough. And if Corbyn and Sultana's movement gains momentum, Starmer's nightmare scenario could become a reality. A fragmented left, a weakened Labour, and the rise of a right-wing government as the ultimate beneficiary. For Keir Starmer, the ghost of Jeremy Corbyn has just reappeared, more determined than ever, I must say, threatening not just Labour's unity, but perhaps even his premiership itself. And I know that somebody is popping their champagne bottles right now, and that will be Nigel Farage. Because what we've seen here in Germany at the moment, the extreme left is coming back a bit right now compared to where they were after they had a split here in Germany and everything. And now the split party of the left is discussing cooperation with the extreme right-wing AfD here. And the extreme left is here as well. I don't know what people think, and I will not get started about the whole genocide BS here that Sultana brought up. You know my stance on that one. I just gonna ask who started all this, and it will be devastating for British politics. We will talk about this again this week because of the polls and about Farage. But the Liberal Democrats, they will not be too angry at the moment. But nevertheless, if Corbyn really does that with Sultana now, you will definitely look to a future where you will think about things that you've seen in Germany a lot, and that's coalition governments. Nevertheless, if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.